Oh, it is helpful.
I was trying to lean into it. So,
Federal employees generally are mystified by what they're actually doing with TSP. So in this short segment, what I'm going to try to do is keep some simple concepts in front of you. I'm hoping that you can forget all the rest and just focus on these things. Point number one, in TSP, you're making investments. What making an investment actually means is you're spending your money. You spend your money to buy shares of a fund. So in return for your money, you're receiving back a form of property. That form of property is called a fund share. The idea is for you to accumulate as many fund shares as you possibly can. Keep that in mind. So the second point would be, if I'm trying to accumulate as many fund shares as I can, what do I want the share price to actually be? Do I want it to keep getting higher and higher and higher? Or do I want it to go lower and lower, and therefore I can buy more shares with the same contribution every 2 weeks? Well, of course, as a buyer, you want the price to be lower. You want to be able to buy more shares. So as a buyer, as an employee, as someone making contributions and also receiving agency contributions, you want the fund price, share price, to go down. Think about that. Remember that. And again, in exchange for your money, you're getting back a piece of property that's called a fund share. Again, the idea is, how can I accumulate as many shares as possible during my career? So the third point would be, in order for me to accumulate as many fund shares as possible, I need the share price lower. And if I need the share price lower, then all the shares I already do own times that low share price means that my balance is going to be lower. And it means that every time the share price goes down, it means my balance is going to go down. So understanding that what's happening is I'm getting a lower price on the shares I'm trying to buy this pay period, that cannot also mean for me that, oh no, my balance is down, what's wrong? Nothing's wrong. The market fluctuates, share prices fluctuate, balances fluctuate, and so you need to keep in mind that fluctuation is just part of it. Don't worry about it. The point is that because you're a buyer, you want the share price to be low, and because you're buying with the share price low, you're getting more shares. And again, the name of the game is to accumulate as many shares as you possibly can. Now, if you're retired, that's a different game. And of course, we want to be aware, more sensitive to share price losses. But not as a buyer, not as an employee. We don't care about that as an employee. So don't worry about a low balance. You're not losing any money. Just the value of your property has changed. And if the value of property has changed and you're not selling, it doesn't matter what anyone else thinks about what they want to pay for your property. Remember, the balance you see on your statement is actually an offer of the other participants to buy all your shares at that very moment. You're not going to do that. As an employee, you're not selling your fund shares. You're accumulating fund shares. Keep all that in mind, and I think you'll have a lot more peace of mind as an investor. And you'll be a little bit more aware of what you're actually doing every time you make a contribution. And therefore, you'll keep your eye on the ball. And the eye on the ball is not looking at the balance. The eye on the ball is looking at the number of shares you've actually accumulated each and every time you look at your statement. I hope that helps you feel good, and I hope that makes you contribute. Keep contributing more and leave your portfolio alone.